Swarupa Isha Jagadisha Akhilananda.
I was looking for this kind of program in my life. So I thought this is the best way to grow spiritually for myself, where the program is structured and it is for your inner well-being.
I was a YouTuber before this, right? And I did that, but it wasn't fulfilling, and I wanted to do something more with my life. So I wanted to take some time off and come to join Sadhanapada so I can gain that clarity to figure out what I want to do in my life.
A guru does not mean a teaching or a philosophy or an ideology. It simply means grace. Here, the Yoga Center, we invested a certain amount of energy, a phenomenal amount of energy, that even if you're like a stone, we can shake your spine a little bit.
It was very intense. Actually, just being there with him was the most profound thing.
It was a very intimate experience to be in ashram and be in the presence of a live master.
When I came from America here to India, I thought I knew everything about yoga. When I sat down with Sadhguru, I realized that I only knew one thing. That one thing was that I only knew nothing.
The first 8 days of the Sadhanapada program started off with an inner engineering refresher course and a Hatha Yoga course. These really set the platform for an intense 7 months to come.
The opportunity of being in the Adiyogi Alayam just brings your practice to a whole different dimension of intensity. And I'm looking forward for the rest of Sadhanapada with this very nice intensity.
Once you put in a certain amount of sadhana, then you see, suddenly your body and mind behaves and it works for you. Once these two things work for you, you don't have to fear too many things at all in life. You will suddenly see the problem is not family, the problem is not business, the problem is not society, the problem is not stars and planets. Once your body and mind cooperates with you, suddenly everything seems to be fantastic.
So thrice a week we are doing Adiyogi Pradakshina. Pradakshina is something we chant a mantra and we visit all the consecrated spaces of the ashram. After completing the Pradakshina, I feel like the energy inside me is rising up.
Well, when I first heard about Pradakshina, it just seemed like walking around. But then after I did the first round of Pradakshina, I could tell that the way I sat inside the Dhyanalinga was different.
It was pretty interesting what Sadhguru said about what Sadhanapada means for each one of us and how we should be offering ourselves during this process.
There was a session where Sadhguru energized sutras for all the Sadhanapada participants which we had to tie on our wrists. Sutra is a consecrated thread which is energized in a certain way.
To have the thread tied and the way it all happened, it has changed the way we are approaching whatever is in front of us.
So the last 1 month has already been great, and I'm really looking forward to the next 6 months to come.
So last month it's been a crazy last month actually. With a lot of activities happening in the ashram, like celebrations were happening, Kaveri calling was full on, and we had our own monthly meetings, weekly meetings, and to keep up with the whole schedule was itself is a task actually.
Why so much activity? If there is no activity, how will people find their expression? If everybody became so meditative that they can just sit here and reverberate and touch the whole world, then no need for activity. Such a thing has not come yet. Very important that people get a possibility of doing something to touch something around them, otherwise they'll never touch life around them. The greatest fulfillment in life is to do something which is much larger than yourself.
I'm a Kannadiga, so I'm helping with Kaveri calling Kannada stuff. I'm helping design posters and hoardings and banners. I feel very proud of the fact that I get to be a very small part in a huge campaign like Kaveri calling. For me, it feels like I'm giving something back to my own state, which I never had the opportunity to do before.
So initially when Kaveri calling was announced, I remember being at home and I was like, okay, this is a social cause. I have never been associated with any social cause throughout my life, so I thought, okay, this is for others, not for me. Then eventually I came for Sadhanapada, and as a part of Sadhanapada I was assigned legal department as my seva. I thought I'll come for Sadhanapada so I'll get a break from my legal profession, but I got the legal department. So as a part of the legal department's work, we were supposed to do a lot of proposals and agreements relating to Kaveri calling, and it was intense work. And I was just amazed the level of activity we were putting in, and after that I had so much energy. Never at my place or at my office I've felt that level of energy. I think it's His grace which made it possible, and it has been wonderful.
Every month we have a monthly meeting for Sadhanapada, because we were able to look at our practices in detail. So I've made a few corrections since then. Also, we get to watch the Sadhguru videos. And I find with Sadhanapada is there's a general trajectory on how we will grow over the next 7 months. Everyone will grow different, but generally you'll grow in a certain way. When Sadhguru thinks we're receptive enough, there'll be a new process taught to us or something.
Hear the fellow people that share their experience here, and I can see how different we are, and I can appreciate that the methods that are given to us, offered to us, works for one who struggles with one thing, works for another who has a different background, that we're so different, but altogether it works.
I think monthly meetings are the guiding lampposts, I feel. Because every time you are a little diverted, there's a monthly meeting that happens, and then you're back on track. I'm much more focused again, and I know it better why I came here.
When certain people approached Krishna and asked, "Oh Master, what is the way?" They say, "You are a deliverer, so what is the way for us?" Krishna looked at them quizzically and said, "What is the way? I am the way." The whole idea and the whole process of what Krishna did was to celebrate the ordinary.
Oh my God, the Krishna Janmashtami celebration was just so beautiful. I was able to dance, I got wet, and It was just very nice. It was so colorful and I laughed my stomach out as if I was a child. I was able to experience the innocence within me during those celebrations.
Sadhana means a device. A tool or a device is a sadhana. So we're using certain activity, certain way of twisting your body, certain way of breathing, certain way of using your mind and activity and many things. All of it is sadhana. There is no seva, sadhana, this one, that one. Everything is sadhana. What seva will you do? No, I went and cleaned the temple floor. That is sadhana. It is so simple for us to buy a machine which cleans up in the morning. We don't do that because we want to give you an opportunity to do sadhana. We want human beings to have opportunity to use their body, their mind, their emotion, their intelligence in a certain way.
Without doing that activity, they will never truly meditate. And many of you know this, if you sit here with me, you meditate, the moment you go out, you struggle. If you do not dismantle certain karmic structures, you will not meditate in your life. You must know that. All the walls must be beaten down. Activity is the best way to do it.
Everybody in the ashram is really excited about this Linga Seva because I think Isha is known for Dhyana Linga. Ushering, I was standing right next to the Dharma pillar and I was receiving guests and we were holding Namaskaram and receiving them. And it was a very profound experience for me because you know, when you receive, you bow down to people, and when you bow down to people, you actually feel that everybody, everything in the world is actually bigger than you. I felt like when I was bowing down to them, something from my personality fell and I became more polite, more gentle.
The range of activities that we do in Matumane ranges from, picking up the stuff for the feed. From morning, cows are fed three to four times a day. And I realized that I'll be doing a lot of physical activity. So personally for me the challenge was to overcome that. Matumane has really taught me the only one skill that is required to be here, or rather anywhere, not just in the ashram. It's just to be willing. If I'm willing, I will be able to do any activity.
So usually when I would go to Bhiksha, I would sit and eat, or rarely I would volunteer to serve. But doing Anna Seva is much different because you take part in all of the arrangements before the food gets served. I never realized how much work goes into creating the ambience that we have at Bhiksha. So doing Anna Seva pushed me to the limits physically, socially, emotionally, mentally, but yet I felt very energized through it, and looking back, that was the most intense time for me at the ashram.
1 month was initially difficult because we were like totally exposed to sunlight, rain. We were in soil entire day. But once our body got adapted to that, I started enjoying. And when I started actually putting my hands in the soil, walking barefoot on the soil, I saw so many creatures, so many worms, insects, the life, as Sadhguru says, life is throbbing everywhere around. If maybe for the first time in my life that I was just sitting near the stream side, looking at the grasshoppers, and I totally forgot who am I, where did I come from, and just totally I melted in that moment.
Everything is same for me. I don't feel like something extraordinary has happened, but I know that lots of devotion has come within me. Even though they try to make it funny so that they do namaskaram all the time, they may do namaskaram 100 times just for fun, but each and every time I bow down with devotion. That devotion part has become more in me.
So, any activity, everything that you do, every breath, every step, every word, everything, every simple thing that you do must become sadhana. So, there is no seva, there is no sadhana, there is only sadhana.
In the last 5 months, like there hasn't been a moment of anger or frustration.
I'm smiling all the time, I'm just happy by myself.
Last year my New Year was celebrated with like a lot of wine. This year I would be living the divine.
Last 5 months of Sadhanapada has actually showed what I am really capable of. I never thought I could do so much in a single day, because if I look back and see the kind of activities that I do in a single day here in Sadhanapada would have taken me a week outside, I would say. This is genuine, it's coming from my heart. And the ability to coordinate with people and be amongst people has increased dramatically. It's not that it's an ashram, there are no challenges with people, everybody is tuned to each other, no, nothing like that. But the way we respond to them has completely changed. That's one thing I'm really happy about. Going back, I'm sure I would be a better colleague, I would be a better subordinate, and I would definitely be a better supervisor.
Actually, before Sadhanapada, I had one relationship and I felt, it felt like it was everything for me. But suddenly it turned somewhere as something else, and I had to, we couldn't stay together. So after the relationship, I felt really broken, if one person can go inside me and distort me this way, then I thought I need to do something about it. I need to look into myself. What am I doing? Before Sadhanapada, I was lost, I can say. Now I'm so clear. I'm not going back there. Not for sure. If I'm in a relationship right now, I will be able to deal with it much better than before.
Most of the time when things were not going the way I wanted them to go, I was struggling a lot. I lost my balance and I could not find a way out of my situation. But here I can see, or I learned to see, there's always some way out of my situation, and it's not always supposed to be a bad situation. So every situation that happens to me, I can grow with it.
When I was in Chennai, I was 103 kgs. Now I'm around 76 kgs or something. So I had to change my entire wardrobe for this. My eating habits were very erratic. I was having more than 3 to 4 meals a day, sometimes even 5 meals. I used to snack a lot. All this food, I used to sleep around 10 hours a day. I definitely needed 9 to 10 hours a day. Otherwise I couldn't function normally. I used to struggle walking from my place to my office. When I go to my office, I'll be completely drenched in sweat. The last 5 months in Sadhanapada has brought a lot of changes in me. After doing the Surya Kriya and other practices, I feel very energetic. Not little, very much energetic. So I think it's a big change for me.
Before coming to Sadhanapada, if anyone fun at me, I was getting up and try to hit that person.
I was like pretty angry guy. So my sister used to call me Hulk or Hank. So now it's okay, macha, cool, chill, no problem. Now I was like this. Previously, I don't care. Even someone met with an accident, I don't even care, I just walk away. After coming to Sadhanapada, I've become sensitive person and naturally caring for the person.
I was addicted as well to few things, and even there I used to like suffer my compulsions like anything. So when I got this opportunity to be here in the ashram, in the program Sadhanapada, so I just took it up, and even after coming here, for the starting of the first or second months, I can say, for both the months I was struggling that whether this is the thing for me, whether it would be able to help me to take out of all those compulsions. But within 2 months, like I got out of anything, like most of the things. But here doing yogic practices and other things, like my body has completely transformed. Just sitting here, it's like I seriously don't need anything, like I'm just joyful by my own nature, and that's great for me. Without any substance, without anything, I was able to go through those experiences in a much better way, without any headache, without any such thing. So it's a great experience for me, and it's not that it was one time or two time, it's like happening. So as I continue with my practices and other things, my body and my mind are just becoming very conducive for me to be here, like to be inside it.
Sadhana means that you have set fire to yourself, you always burn. You're always the source of light, never in darkness. This is something you must earn, every one of you. So, being here for the 6-7 months, knowingly, unknowingly, you're soaked with this place, with this energy. You must see how it grows.
For me, it's been a very incubating period, to be very honest. Slowly after doing sadhana, I got a clarity, and with that clarity, I was able to be more still. I was balanced within in my thoughts and emotions, and that furthered my clarity. I'm really able to see that being still and doing nothing is the most profound and intense state that I have ever discovered in my life.
Silence is so beautiful. In my experience, whatever I am seeing or listening or touching or in whichever way I'm experiencing, that's heightened when I'm quiet. I don't know how that happens, but to be quiet is so beautiful.
I was thinking that just this silence just worked for me like a vacuum pump. I mean, it just sucked the anger out of me and kept it in front of me. And I could consciously see that this is my anger, but I was not affected by that anger. I was very angry, I was very intense in anger, but within half an hour, it just evaporated.
It's a very new experience to me because I always thought, like in the outside world, if you're unmoved by everything, that somehow was strength to me. But coming into Isha's space, now I'm seeing a leaf and crying. Now I'm seeing, the wind just on my face and I'm crying. So I can't probably explain what is it that I'm exactly feeling then, but it's a sense of inclusiveness I feel, it's a sense of devotion to what's around me and the unknown of it.
Waking up at 3 AM and going to Surikund every morning was such a buzz. It was amazing. Like the way my practices, the way my muscles loosened up from being there, I absolutely loved it.
Shivanga sadhana, last year also I did, and this year also I'm doing. I can see a different level of emotion is being generated for Devi, a different connect, like more like mother-daughter connection I can see is forming between me and Devi.
whether you call it Shiva, whether you call it Tao, whether you call it God or Source or whatever you call it, definitely this Shivanga sadhana opens you up to that.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, ensure one thing that you don't compromise is expansion of who you are. That you never compromise, not for money, not for wealth, not for relationships, not for comfort, you never compromise the fire of sadhana, because that's vital, that's the only way you will live a life of fulfillment. Otherwise, you may live a life of comfort, you may live a life of approval from other people, but you will never know what it means to be just sit here. Even if I don't do anything, simply sitting here, you're fulfilled. This will come to you only when you start burning within yourself endlessly.